My name is Samantha Rupert. I'm a 20-year-old nursing student who also just happens to love makeup. This is my YouTube channel where I'll be doing makeup related videos, so like tutorials, reviews, anything basically relating to makeup that I feel like. If you want to see anything specific, I'm more than willing to hear suggestions. Today I wanted to do a makeup look that was inspired by my face mask. Part of the reason why I started this channel is because I had a lot of time, and one way that I wanted to use my time was to explore my passion a little bit more. One of my passions being makeup, and I thought a kind of fun way to do so and play around with it is to recreate my face mask as an eyeshadow look. There's like pink and red hearts on it. I thought it would just be kind of fun, a fun way to use the mask, since a lot of us in this time of COVID are asked to wear a mask when we go out in public. Alright, so my hair is pinned back. I also want to apologize for being in a robe. I went on a walk with my mom earlier today and it poured down rain on us, and I was in like shorts and flip-flops, so I'm still a little bit cold from that. The only way I was gonna get this video done is if I had something warm around me, and the best thing I could think of was this robe. So I'm just going to go in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm just gonna go rub it in like the tops of my cheeks, my nose, and on my forehead and chin is kind of where I take this. You don't really need all that much. I just kind of have like a thin layer on my finger every time I go in. So now that we are primed, I'm going to take this Tinted Moisturizer from the Balm. It's called the Balm Shelter. I have it in shade Lighter Than Light. I don't know if they still sell this. It's kind of an older product, and I'm aware of expiration dates, but it doesn't smell funky, and I've been using it for a couple weeks and it hasn't caused any adverse effects to my skin, so I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to use it. So I just took kind of a little bit more than a piece, a lot more than a pea size, but it's kind of putting it in the back of my hand, and I'm just going to blend this into my face, starting with underneath my eye. Finished with this, I'm now going to go on to concealer, and I'm going to be using my 16-Hour Camo Concealer from e.l.f. and it is in the shade Fair Rose. You do not need a ton of this. I wipe off quite a bit before I use it. I'm just going to take my little handheld mirror, and I'm just going to put like 3 small dots, getting smaller as I go, or as much as possible. And I'm just going to blend that out underneath my eye. That's for like my motivation for like starting a YouTube channel. My inspiration, I just kind of want to get out of my comfort zone. When I finished my finals, and it was summer break, but it was quarantine, so I couldn't really do much. I couldn't go out anywhere. I just had like a desire to kind of like just play with makeup, but I'm in college, by the way. I'm going into my junior year, and I go to college out of state. I'm currently in California, but I go to school in Nebraska, and I was living on campus last year, but after spring break they told us not to come back because of COVID, and so I didn't bring any makeup home with me for spring break because I I'm not one to wear makeup on a daily basis, but I enjoy playing and doing makeup for like special occasions and stuff like that. And I always love learning, and I don't feel like I need it on a daily basis. If I feel like putting on makeup and I have the time, maybe sometimes I will, just because it's fun to apply, and I had this desire to just kind of like play around with makeup and practice. But I had basically none of my makeup here, and so that led me to do a lot of impulsive buying, which I was kind of like, well, if I'm buying all this makeup and I'm going to be playing with makeup, I might as well kind of do something with it. And I started an Instagram account, which you can follow. It's the same as my YouTube. It's the same. My handle is the same as my YouTube channel. So Sam but never Sammy. Look me up on Instagram. I post makeup looks there. I'm really new and I'm really small, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. It's just kind of something fun I like to do. But I figured I would venture into YouTube as well since I had the time, and I can, I guess. I'm gonna go in with my Coty Airspun and set that. I have to be very careful opening this because it fell, and yeah, it made a mess. Not on my floor, just within the container. Yeah, so I'm always very hesitant to open it because there's a lot just like in that little like kind of divot out. You can't really see it, but like there's like this area from here to like where like the grates are, where the powder are. If you're familiar with the product, you probably know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of product in that space, and I just don't want it to go everywhere, so I'm just gonna kind of lightly set. I don't usually bake. I think it kind of personally makes, I feel like I look a little bit cakey, and it clings on to like any dry spots that I have in the moment more. Yeah, and then I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in Porcelain, and I'm just going to take a big powder brush. This isn't the brush that I usually use, but I'm also limited in my brushes at the moment. But so, because this isn't the brush that I usually use, I just kind of pinch at the end to kind of make it a little bit more, less like fluffy and more kind of like dense, to kind of get the product to go on in a manner that I want. And I'm just going to use the mirror that's below this. And with my Morphe 9C palette, this is their old packaging, so I got this I think in between my junior and senior high school, so it's an old product. Technically over its expiration date, but powders I find don't really go bad. And again, I've had no adverse effects from using it the last couple weeks, so I'm not too worried about it. And powders I'm really not strict on. Liquids I'm a little bit more conscious of using them in a timely fashion, especially mascaras. Next, I'm going to go with bronzer, and I'm just using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in light bronzer, yes. And I'm taking an e.l.f. brush. Where does my little e.l.f. brush go? It likes to hide from me, apparently. But it's just this angled brush from e.l.f. It's called angled blush brush. I like to use it for bronzing, but when I bronze, I kind of just go over the areas that I contoured, and then, yeah. I think a lot of people do that. At least when I was learning, when I started learning makeup, that's what I noticed a lot of people doing, and that's what I've just continued to do. Okay, so I finished using bronzer. I just took it on the forehead, along the hollows of my cheek, kind of where I put the contour, down my jawline and underneath my chin as well, and a little bit on my neck. But so that's bronzer done. Also, I don't know what it is, but something is bothering my nose so much. It's so freaking itchy. I'm gonna go in with blush, and this is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Rosy. It looks like this. It looks very dark in the pan and on camera from what I can see, but I find that it's actually, especially the way I use blush, not that dark on my skin. I think it actually looks really pretty. I'm just using this pointed powder brush from e.l.f. to just get a little bit on, dab it off, and this, I got a lot on the brush, but I'm gonna, hopefully you'll see, I'm not gonna be using it all on one cheek, so just gonna smile, put it on the apples, a little bit on the nose. I think I've been seeing a lot of people doing it. I actually really like the look. Not like so that it's like I have like Rudolph nose, but just like a little bit of color. I don't know why. I've enjoyed it. So this is also from e.l.f. This is the Shimmering Highlighting Powder in Sunset Glow. And what brush do I want to use to put you on? Let me find you. And of course, you'll find a trend with me is I like e.l.f. products. I find them really affordable and very usable. They have a lot of good products for a really good price, and also on their website they have, at the moment they're doing $15 off shipping. I don't know if that's a permanent thing or if that's something they're just doing during COVID. And with if you spend $25, you get 2 free gifts. So they have a lot of good deals right now, at least in terms of like you can get free shipping and get free products if you spend $15 or $25. Regardless, this is the highlighter. It is gorgeous. And I'm not a big highlighter. I like highlighter, but there are definitely, I am an eyeshadow stan through and through. My favorite part of doing my makeup is my eyeshadow. But I'm just going to go in with this e.l.f. tapered brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit, because you don't need a lot. So yeah, you can see that. You should be able to see that. I'm happy with it. I'm now going to move on to brows. So I'm going to use, again, another e.l.f. product. This is the Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade Blonde. It has a nice little spoolie at the end, and then your product is there. But I have pretty naturally full eyebrows, but I just like to make it look a little bit more put together by just kind of running it through, and I really focus on the tail, because I think that's where my hair is kind of, there's hair there, but they're not as like dark, so I just kind of like to darken them a little bit. We're now going to move on to eyeshadow, which is my favorite part of makeup. I think I've mentioned that earlier in this video, but it is still very much true. So I'm going in with my e.l.f. eye primer in sheer. This is about $2 on their website, like so affordable for a lot of people. How we are using today, and let me just take out the little film. I keep it, I don't know why, I figured I might want to keep it to let you guys know the shades. They bother me. I usually just kind of toss them, and I probably will end up tossing it. But we are going in with the Morphe 35H Hotspot palette. I think this is so pretty. I was doing some window shopping on their site, and I saw this, and I just like kind of immediately put it into my shopping cart because I just thought it was so pretty. And I'm so excited to play with it. I'm going to be grabbing my concealer because I will be cutting my crease today. Is that closed a little bit? Yes, it is. But yeah, so I've played with this once, so this isn't my first time using it, but this is pretty new to me. I just got it in this last week, and from what I have played with, it is pretty good, and I can update you as I play with it more. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know in the comments below. But the only time I played with this is when I was kind of practicing this eye look. So let's just get right into it. So I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. tapered blending brush. It looks like this. It's usually white at the end, but because I was playing with it, it's no longer white at the end at the moment. It's slightly stained red. So I'm going to start with this kind of corally shade right here. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to take that shade and I kind of tap off the excess. I'll probably be going into it a couple other times, dipping into it. But I'm just going to put this in my crease, really just focusing on getting pigment rather than blending it out for the moment. But now I'm going in with an e.l.f. blending brush. And the next shade I will be going in with is this kind of dark burgundy red. If you can see it, it's this one right here. So I'm just going to go in. This one I'm going to be very careful not to get too much because I want to deepen the end of my crease, but I don't want to go too far in because like I said, I want this kind of corally shade to be visible. I like to use it. It's a very small brush. I'm just going to take a little bit off of the applicator because you do not need a lot with this concealer at all. And I'm just going to take that to my lid of my eye, and I'm just going to try and cut this crease as neatly as possible. I'm going to take this eyeshadow C brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to go into this little like almost white cream color. It's the shimmer that's like this pale gold. I think it's very pretty. A lot comes off, so just to be aware if you have this palette and you're using it along with me, but you haven't used it before, or if you're thinking about getting the palette, that a lot comes off in a couple dips. So I'm just gonna kind of try and neatly follow where I put the concealer. That is basically the eyelid done. Now I am going to go in with mascara and put it in. I'm going to do my second eye, but I'm going to do that off camera just because you've already seen me do it. And I'm going to do the lower lash line as well. But after that you can, and I'm going to do lipstick as well, so don't worry. But after that you can call it done. I'm going to, because there's hearts on my mask, I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to put hearts around my eyes, kind of like the Instagram filter or Snapchat filter. I'm not quite sure which one it is, But that, and I think it looks really cool. I'm really excited about it. But if you wanted a little bit more wearable look, you can basically stop it with the lower lash line and the look that I have done already in the mascara and lipstick. But if you want to do a little something fun, if you wanted to go out with hearts around your face, more power to you. I love that. But if that's something you're not into, that's okay too. You don't have to do them. Completely optional. So I'll be right back when I have finished doing the... Actually, no, hold up. Let me do my lower lash line since I can at the moment. And then once I do my lower lash line, I'll cut and do my other eye. I don't know if you can see where I put the coral shade, but it's right here. I didn't make it as bright as I did here, but I think I want it to be that way. I want it to be kind of a subtle, more corally shade there. But yes, so now I'm going to... I look crazy with just one eye done. But I'm going to do the same that I did on this eye, I think this eye looks bigger because I did it. I don't know what I did. That was not my intention. But I'm going to do what I did on this eye. I also think I look a little bit crazy. But I'm going to do what I did on this eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did basically the exact same thing that I did on this eye, except I made a couple changes to this eye as I was doing this eye. So I did go with a couple more coats of that kind of goldy, that pale white goldy color on this eye, because I did 2 coats on this side and I thought it looked stunning, so I did the same here. I also kind of went in and blended the line a little bit back here because I thought it looked a little bit weird not having any blending whatsoever. Did the same over here a little bit. Regardless, I'm really happy with how this looks. However, we are not done. We still have a couple steps to go. So I'm going to take this, I think it's meant to be an eyeliner brush, but I'm kind of doing that, I guess. But it's from BH Cosmetics. It's this really thin, it's a firm, there's firm bristles. It's a little bit thicker than a normal eyeliner brush. But I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to go in. I went in the right one. Oh, thank God. I accidentally jabbed it into a shadow and it was the one I needed. But it's this kind of shimmery red that's right next to the coral. So I already have some because thanks to me being a klutz, jabbed it into that shade. And I'm just going to take the shade and I'm going to line where the gold kind of meets the pinks and purples. I also put a little bit more of that coral shade in here because I thought I needed a little bit more. But yeah, so I'm going to now curl my lashes. I'm going to go in with mascara, and this is the Lash Sensational Curvitude Waterproof Mascara. I'm just going to wipe off some of the product because I don't like to go in with too much, especially with this particular mascara. Ooh. But anyway, so this is the e.l.f. Seriously Satin lipstick in Raspberry. If you wanted to leave it at this and kind of do a more, not necessarily, this is by no means simple. I mean, it's not the hardest look to do, but it's a little bit more fun. It's not necessarily your average nude look. I think this could be really fun to do as is right now, but I am going to do more. So go back into that same palette. I'm going to use that red that I used to kind of like line the in-between the goldy shade and the red. This is not the end that I want to use. So this, the sparkly red that's right here. Boop, boop. And we're going to be drawing hearts that are all over my face. So what I like to do is what I'm going to do is kind of do 2 above my brows, 3 underneath my eyes, and yeah, so... That is that. I think I'm calling that done. Alright, let me just put this down and I will show you the final look. I mean, you can kind of see it, but yeah, so this is the final look, guys. I'm really proud of it. I hope you like it. Oh, this is fun fact. I filmed this video already, but I forgot to put my mask on at the end to kind of show how it looks with it, and I was really upset about it, so I refilmed the entire thing. I don't want to get my lipstick on it, so you might see me do that a little bit. I don't know if you can really tell. Underneath the mask, makeup is definitely going to be on my mask after this. I saw some tutorials that some people did about like how to keep your makeup on while wearing a mask, and I was like, oh, that might be fun to like watch, or like something I should watch. Have I watched it yet? No. Do you have those videos like where you're like, oh, I want to watch this, but I don't want to watch it right now, so I'll save it for later, but you never get to it? Because I do. But here you go. I messed up. Alright. I think it looks really cute. I think this looks adorable. I'm so happy. This is like so cute. I think this is something that like, I want more people to do this. I want to see so many people in makeup do this. I think this would be so fun. Like, can we get people to do this? I'm sorry. Like, there's so many like unique masks. I didn't get as much makeup on that as I thought I was. But I'm gonna end this here. If you like the video, give this video a like. If you like the makeup, give this video a like. And if you want to see more, subscribe to me. I'm going to try to post weekly on Mondays. At least for this time period. That might change with school coming. Not that I'm not going to be posting anymore. I would love to. But the date might change. Regardless, I will say goodbye. Thank you for watching. And I hope to see you again. Or, yeah, I hope you come back. Alright, bye guys.